Welcome back to Boris Physical Media. I'm Vanessa and he's Charles. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep hitting that bell notification so you know every single time that we post a video. And we have a movie review from Warner Brothers, and it is the 4K of Unforgiven. It's fine. And the back. And of course there's no disc artwork. But this does star Clint Eastwood. Obviously, he's on the front. Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman.
And he wrote this movie.
Yes.
Produced this movie, directed this movie, and starred in this movie.
Like normal. So, Clint Eastwood's character and Morgan Freeman's character, they used to pretty much be like bounty hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they got paid to pretty much murder people. Well, now, of course, this is later on in their years in their life, and they're retired from this, and a gentleman comes to Clint Eastwood's farm with his kids there and try to have a conversation with him that his father remembered being with him and how great of a shootist he was.
Yeah.
And everything, and so he wanted him to go with him to collect a bounty, because in the beginning of this, in one of the saloons, one of the guys got a little too rowdy with one of the women and actually sliced her face up. So the woman who's in charge of all the women wanted him to pay. Well, of course, the sheriff in town, which is played by Gene Hackman, doesn't see it that way. He sees, okay, well, I'll just give the saloon person, you have this for property, which is horses, and the saloon guy got the horses, but the girls didn't get anything. They didn't do anything to help them at all. So they pull their money together and try to hire a bounty hunter for this. Well, they finally come in, and they're on their way, and the guy who hires him can't see. He's like partially blind.
Yeah.
So he can't shoot at all. And again, Morgan Freeman and Clint Eastwood's character are way older, haven't done this in forever, so they're still trying to get things together. Well, Clint Eastwood can't even get on his damn horse because without falling, because he's been working on a farm, for a good portion of the rest of his life, and left this life of crime away. And that's pretty much what the story is about, is them on their way down there. And Morgan Freeman, at one point, he like gets scared, like he can't shoot, he can't do nothing, like I said, they're older in their life and they're not into this anymore. So Clint Eastwood ends up taking care of one of the guys, and Morgan Freeman says, I can't do this, I'm just gonna go home. Well, Gene Hackman's people caught up with him and they killed him, which happened to be Eastwood's like best friend. So it just goes from there.
It was nice to see, obviously, Clint Eastwood, one of the best actors that we have in this lifetime, and he always will be. And Morgan Freeman, which is one of the best black actors in this lifetime, I would say. I love him in about every movie he's in. He brings the old school feel like Clint Eastwood and John Wayne does. He brought it to this movie. Yeah. I know a lot of people like Denzel Washington. I am not one of them. I think he's ill comparison to what Morgan Freeman can bring to the screen. To me, Denzel Washington has certain movies that he's really good in, and then other ones not so much. But Morgan Freeman's great in everything he does. Kind of like Clint Eastwood's great at everything he does. Pretty much has. And the same with John Wayne. But and then you got Gene Hackman, who always plays a dickhead. he was good at it also. Yes, which, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. But this was such a great movie. I've seen it back, God, it's been a while. But first time watch for her, which is sad, unfortunately, because it's a Clint Eastwood film. Yes, I really enjoyed this film. So I do have a tidbit for you before he
talks about special features. In the beginning of this film, there obviously you either get around by stagecoach, by train, or riding a horse. Well, the train that's actually in this film is the number 3 train, which is the same train that is in Back to the Future Part 3.
Tidbit.
But
the movie itself is in 4K. It does come up as HDR, but it is just in 4K. So I know that's a little bit confusing. So you don't have HDR or Dolby Vision, but it is in 4K. Another one that did that, I think, was there was a Shutter film that was in
I can't
4K,
remember which one it is.
but it looked good. Don't let that shy you away from picking up the 4K of this, because there's no HDR present. You think that it is, and it actually isn't. So I just wanted to touch face on that to let you guys know, but don't let that deter you away from it, because the picture did look extremely good. Now, you do have multiple special features. You have an audio commentary, film critic, and Eastwood biographer Richard Schnickel. They sat down for Scene Pacific audio commentary. Eastwood on Eastwood, which is produced and directed by Schnickel. This made-for-cable documentary is a generally terrific perspective visual history of Eastwood's illustrious career. So you get to look back on his career up until this point. All on accounts, pulling the trigger. This is the 2002 featurette, which was on the Blu-ray before this came out. This includes the new interviews of Eastwood, Freeman, and Hackman, among others, but it's just not long enough to go between the surface. Eastwood and Company making Unforgiven, which is obviously a documentary. The film's original 1992 featurette is actually better at documenting the making of the movie than its 2002 counterpart, which I just said just a second ago. Eastwood, a star, which you already knew. And you get a vintage TV episode, which is a early Clint appearance as the cowboy on the classic TV series Maverick. I ain't talking about Top Gun Maverick either. An episode entitled Do It Sundown. It doesn't have anything to do with the movie, but it's still a good watch. It's presented here in 4.3 pillar box video and encoded at 480i. Remember those days? Also accompanied with a trailer, which is in standard definition also. So pretty much everything that was ported from the Blu-ray is on this, which the Blu-ray is actually in this, so you get to see all that. So you do have the audio commentary on the 4K if you want to have that on there. I prefer not to, because I don't want to hear directors and stuff talking while I'm watching the movie, trying to concentrate. But movie itself is a 5 out of 5 for me. This won multiple Oscars, well deserved.
Yes, 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
So, alright, Academy Awards, whatever. They're all the same to me. But would I recommend this? Yes.
Would I recommend this? Yes.
Given no new special features, and it does have DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 in this, so the sound sounds a lot better than what the Blu-ray part did, because I heard that the Blu-ray part was not that good.
Okay.
So it definitely, we didn't check out the Blu-ray because we watched the 4K, but you got 5.1. This was not a movie that would need to have Dolby Atmos.
No.
It might have made it a little bit louder, but it wasn't like a
one that really needed it.
Yeah. The loudest part was mainly when we're shooting here and there. The ending, when all hell broke loose, and then of course him falling off his horse 3 times total.
Yes.
And but no new special features. I would still give it, I would only knock it down to a 4.5 out of 5. I couldn't knock it no further, but just because the movie itself is so entertaining. It is over 2 hours long. You do not notice it. I forgot Morgan Freeman was in this movie, so when I seen him come in, I'm like, yes, because I'm a big fan of him. I love him. He is like one of the best black actor out there, other than Lorenz Tate, which I am a fan of, but he's not doing movies much anymore.
No, not really.
Morgan Freeman, he always brings the old school actor's effect to the movies.
He does.
And he is such a great actor. Him and Clint Eastwood click very well, because obviously they're from the older generation. They know exactly what they want. They go out and do it, and they bring you a very beautiful movie written, produced, and directed, and starred by Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
That's a lot of words to put in one
I
sentence.
know. It also stars Richard Harris, which he's in a small portion of the film. And if you don't know who Richard Harris is, a little tidbit for you: he is the original man who played Dumbledore in the first Harry Potter movies.
Harry Potter.
Yep.
Harry
I kept seeing him and I hearing his voice. I'm like, who the hell is this freaking man? And I realized who it was towards the end.
We will link this below.
Yep.
You can still get this on 4K. This had a steelbook at some point. It sold out before I could actually get a hold of it, or trust me, I would have had it. But this is definitely a movie you need in your
Collection.
Yes. Whether you like westerns or not, watch this movie just for Clint Eastwood. Gene Hackman is an asshole, and Morgan Freeman is. It's a great movie. Western.
But they all worked together continuously. Like, it wasn't like, okay, like these two work together and then this one, like, you know, some movies, like there's normally one character or a person who doesn't really fit that role, but they all fit their roles perfectly.
Older generation. I will always say that. Give this a watch. Add this to your collection.
Yes.
This is definitely worth it. Link will be below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel about Clint Eastwood films in general, or if you like westerns, or what other Clint Eastwood film that I might have not seen, which probably is not any, but I've pretty much seen every single one of this man's filmography. So that's it. Unforgiven, 4K, Warner Brothers. You did a pretty decent job on it. We appreciate it. Thank you. See you on the next one.